One of the most common comments I see under my videos is my fish are acting strange, they're acting unusual, they've stopped eating, they're hanging out in the bottom, they're clamping their fins, I don't know what's going on. Usually that's followed by an email, my fish have started to die off and I just don't know what to do. That email usually also says, I tested my water and it's perfect. So why are your fish dying? So let's talk about it. First of all, you probably created what's called an ammonia spike. And what that means is that some of the beneficial bacteria was killed off in the aquarium and couldn't keep up with the waste being produced by the fish. Fish produce ammonia. So do rotting plants, rotting food, right? Fish poop, fish urine, all that produces ammonia. Usually the beneficial bacteria can keep up with it and convert that ammonia to nitrite, and then other beneficial bacteria converts that to nitrate, a much less harmful thing to have in your aquarium that you can control really with tons of plants or with water changes. So you go in there, you service the filters, you do a deep substrate vacuuming, and the tank wasn't really that old. Let's say it's under 6 months, so it's not super mature, and you kill off too much beneficial bacteria. Now what happens is you start what I call a mini cycle. You start cycling the tank again, there's an ammonia spike. That ammonia, as it starts to get converted, it converts into the nitrite. This is very hard on the fish. By the time you notice the damage and you get around to testing things, the beneficial bacteria has recovered and is now caught up, but the damage is done and the fish are struggling, if not outright dead. You do your water test and it comes out perfect. So you send me the email, tell me about how your fish are dying and how your water is perfect. But it's too late, too little too late. The other thing that happens sometimes is you had an increase in temperature that has prevented oxygen to really get into the water. Water that gets a lot warmer has trouble actually, like the oxygen will not dissolve in that water. There's not enough oxygen in the water column for the fish. That's usually because something changed. Maybe you replaced a filter, maybe you got rid of your sponge filters that were breaking up the surface and went with a canister and put the input under the surface of the water. Something changed and now the surface isn't getting broken up anymore and the fish are struggling to breathe. That's usually accompanied by the fish gasping at the top, trying to get oxygen. It's very confusing because you'll have a die-off to the point where there's enough oxygen to support the remaining fish. All of a sudden you have 5 or 6 fish left from an original 15. Your water tests are perfect and those remaining fish look fine, and you scratch your head and go, I don't know what's going on. Well, they were oxygen starved. That's probably what's going on. So my safeguards for these are very simple. One, I stabilize tanks or mature tanks or seasoned tanks with a deep substrate. And this allows them to become very rock solid and stable because they have a bed, a colony of beneficial bacteria in a deep sand bed or a deep substrate bed, and that actually is not messed with. I do very light vacuuming on the surface of it, so that just makes it very difficult to destabilize that tank. So point number 1 would be a deep substrate. Point number 2, always have surface tension breakup, either with the outputs of your filters, like hang-on backs, they break up the surface. Sponge filters, they break up the surface. All those are great. If you have a canister filter, position the output so it's near the top, so it breaks it up, right? And so always have something that'll break up the surface tension of your aquarium. So last, number 3, is don't do too much at once. Be patient, do things over time. and don't worry about, well, my tank looks like it really is getting dirty. Let me get in there and do a deep vacuuming and service the filters. You're asking for trouble. Now, an older, mature tank might be able to weather that without a problem. Still, even with these tanks that are very mature in my fish room, I don't do that. I'll service one filter 1 week and then wait 2 weeks and service the other one. Never both at once, and certainly not at the same time as any vacuuming or anything else that's done that's major. So if you follow those steps and you allow your tank to sort of season and mature over time, like some of these tanks have, you're gonna have a real rock solid situation, and fish die-offs are not gonna be part of your fish keeping, okay? So I hope those tips help. Comment below if you have experience with any of these or would like to add tips to this list. And if you'd like to support the channel, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, hit that bell, and support the channel by becoming a member of the Garage Gang, a Patreon supporter. Starts for as little as $3 a month. Really helps out the channel, and details are under the video in the description. Also, I hope to see you on Saturday, where a great group of fish keepers get together and discuss every fish keeping topic imaginable in a live setting. A lot of fun. Every Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 Central, and noon Eastern. Hope to see you there. Thank you, my friends. Goodbye for now.